A Gentleman Games podcast.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Get Heated. Just keep in mind, we are an offensive, angry advice podcast, and none of our advice should be taken seriously. Also, if you don't agree with the views expressed, just know that we don't agree with it either. Thanks, and we hope you enjoy the ride, bastards. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Get Heated.
Oh, we're starting. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I thought we were still setting up. Sorry, I'm just looking at. I think I found my new wallpaper from my phone. James.
Yeah? Is it that Bowsette cosplay?
No.
Oh, it's Boozette and Bowsette.
Yeah.
What's Boozette? King Boo?
No.
Or Boo the Ghost.
Well, God, I'm bumping my mic everywhere. I'm sorry for the.
Is there
Yeah.
not King Boo?
No, there is no King Boo. It's this Boo.
Boo.
This is Boo. They're Boos. There is no King Boo. There's this Boos.
I disagree strongly. I will find it right now.
I'm sure there's a character called King Boo.
But anyway, hi everybody, I'm James.
I'm Vito.
I'm Tyler.
And welcome to Get Heated, our not-so-weekly podcast where we attempt to really piss off each other and give really shitty advice.
King Boo was the easiest thing to find.
I just want to show you on my phone. I have not touched my phone.
Amazing for an audio-based podcast.
No.
Here, look at this.
No. You'll enjoy it. I was searching King Boo,
Yep.
and you made me introduce myself, and this is what I did.
King Vito.
King Vito, of course.
I wrote Vito for some reason for Boo.
All right. Well, hey, how's it going, guys?
Not too bad, I guess.
Not pretty good,
Not pretty good.
but yes, good.
No, there is a King Boo.
I was just thinking, we just watched that Sunny with a Chance of Meatballs.
Sunny with a chance of meatballs, lethal weapon, Cebu.
We just watched that, and it's gonna put us in a good mood.
We can be in a good mood, though.
Right.
I'm in a fantastic mood because it's a Friday.
It is a Friday.
I don't work tomorrow.
You know
I'm
what
so
we
happy.
should talk about though? Because
Getting back from the bar like we just did, and I took just the most awesome dump.
Yeah,
because you weren't doing.
Okay,
you weren't free racing.
I wasn't free, but oh my gosh.
I need to start. I need to start timing James's shits.
Why?
Because they're ridiculously long.
Why does everybody say this? I take like 10 minutes.
No, you take like 20 to 40 every time.
No.
What? How long were we out there when we were doing D&D last? How long was he in?
I don't know.
I get distracted.
At least 15 to 20 minutes.
Reddit is a powerful tool.
Then we heard.
Yeah,
we heard music.
Titanic.
So I'm saying, like, it's like I can understand for 5 to 10 minutes because that's.
Do you not ever just like go into the bathroom, sit down, and just like, this is the first time I've sit down and been comfortable all day?
Yeah, and it still takes me 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not saying it takes me 40 minutes to dump, but
that's
I
how long
sit
you stay in
down
the
and I'm
bathroom.
like, all right, I'm comfortable. I get done pooping like probably 10 minutes, 20 minutes before I'm done, before I come out of the bathroom.
As soon as I'm done pooping, I'm out of the bathroom.
How do you have...
I get up, wash my hands, and then I leave.
That's disgusting. You don't even sanitize your phone or anything?
You don't even buy a new phone?
Yeah, you don't buy a new phone every time you take a dump?
I dip my phone into my shit.
Gross.
Pick it up. And then
And lick it clean.
What do you think my cover is? It's not a real cover. It's just hardened shit.
Gross.
Why do you think it's all black? Because it just aged.
I love that this is the start of the podcast.
Yeah. Everybody's introduction to Get Heated is, let's talk about poop. Okay.
Should we just make a new podcast?
Here's
so let's
what we
talk
should
about poop?
actually talk about.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
concept, as I found while researching the transfer case in the Nissan, or specifically the Murano, but some other Nissan products,
Yep.
is they specifically know, because it's a CTV transmission.
Yeah,
whatever that
the
is.
continual variable transmission.
Yes. And they do have that.
Or continuously variable timing transmission.
Something like that,
CVTT.
yeah.
But yeah.
They do have the ability for you to ensure that. So
Yep.
if something goes wrong with that, they're like, good. But the transfer case, they specifically do not
Cover.
allow you to ensure. Yes.
Right.
So because they know it will fail, just as mine has failed or
Yep.
is failing, and they just there's been case after case after case of, hey, clearly you guys didn't design this well because it fails, and they're like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Which,
This is-
of course, Nissan is not and Murano, this is not the only company or anything like that does that. The reason I'm not upset is because no matter what I bought, there would be something like this that fails like that.
Right.
But it's just shitty that that companies can do that.
See, and that's the thing though, is that kind of thing would not have been accepted 40 years ago.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But we've gotten to a point where companies have just continually pushed the bar over and over and over that everybody's just apathetic to it.
Yeah.
Because I work in auto parts. I sell auto parts. I help people diagnose and repair their vehicle. I can tell you right now, I could write you a list of exactly what's going to break on your car first if you give me a car and I have access to my machine. Because and not only that, I can tell you out of all of the mechanics countrywide that use a specific, like the Bosch scanners, like to go in and do the ECU scanning, I can tell you how many people have registered a specific code that's pulled up and what was done to repair that code. And being able to see in this, I will probably never buy an American-made vehicle again. And I know Nissan is not an American-made vehicle, but Nissan produces amazing vehicles compared to Chevy or Ford or I don't know, Dodge, if you're not buying a Ram.
Right.
The Ram, great trucks.
But just like all like the Ford Focus, like the things that go wrong with it, because like my younger sister drives one of those, and it's just like, yeah, we know this thing fails.
Yeah,
and
we know it fails.
You have to pay for it.
Yep, and it's
like,
crazy.
Well, fuck.
And there's TSBs, which are called technical service bulletins, where there is a problem with a vehicle that is so common, that they will send a TSB out to repair places, or they'll send it out just like, hey, you bought this car, here's a TSB about it. But they're not covered by warranties.
Right.
It's not like, here's a recall, because recall means we're losing stock, we're losing money, and we're liable for this. But a TSB is, hey, here's a problem that might occur. And most people are like, oh, well, thanks for telling me about that, not realizing this has literally occurred so commonly, they have to notify every single person who's bought this car about it.
This is crazy, because if this thing I guess we can talk about the severity of the other thing, but if this thing fails, like literally a whole bunch of people have been like, yeah, and so my car just stopped in the middle of driving, and I was in the middle of a highway, and I thankfully got it over to the side of the road. Whereas how I found out about this was a recall to replace the .3 brake fluid with .4 brake fluid, and then take the cap of the brake fluid
and change the cap
and
to
say
.4.
to say .4 exactly. Yeah. So they did that, and they're like, yeah, here you go.
Right, because they'll recall it and be like, well, this is obviously what the problem was, even though as anybody who's worked on a car can go, no. All that .3 to .4 is .4 can perform better under high temp and pressure. Right. It's not going to change, oops, your transfer case is working again.
Right, yeah.
But it's funny you bring that up, though, because Vito has the same issue with his car. Well, not the same issue, but the same situation. He has a Malibu, a newer Chevy Malibu, and something that's really common in the newer Chevy Malibus is the dash cluster turns off in the middle of driving.
Yeah, it's fucking awful.
And it's entirely digital.
So
you can be going flying down the highway.
Even my gauges don't work. Like half the time, I don't know how much gas I have,
or how fast he's going, or if his transmission is shifting properly. But even bigger though is the lesser of the two issues with that car. The bigger issue with that car is you lose entire power while driving it. You lose power steering. You lose anti-lock brakes. You lose your dash cluster and other electronic controls of the car, like your blinkers, your lights, your headlights, your taillights.
I know the one that it started with was my SpillaTrack would just stop working.
SpillaTrack.
Yeah.
Yep. So you lose that. You lose traction control.
When it gets cold, it just doesn't. It stops, and then I can't accelerate fast because
you go into limp home mode.
Yep. And I can't do a cruise control or anything.
And the thing is this is super common on new cars.
What year is that?
13.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And this is another situation where it's like there's a TSB about it, but not a recall, because losing power steering, the ability to control your car, losing all electrical and everything in the middle of a dangerous highway, that's not dangerous enough for them to actually have to put money forth as a greedy ass corporation. And the thing is this is super common. However, if you get a group of cars from Japan and this happens, you will have a CEO probably hanging themselves.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's surprising that Nissan has such a big thing, because Nissan is that Korean?
I don't know.
Hold on.
I could believe that.
I want to say it's
don't
Korean
know.
or it's
Hyundai is,
Japanese. Hyundai is Korean
Korean, yeah.
because my car is a KDM. It's a Korean domestic market. Nissan, maybe they're Japanese too. Actually,
I want to say Nissan is Japanese.
Nissan country of origin. Nissan is in fact a
Russian.
Japanese. Oh! They are from the Yokohama Kanagawa prefecture in Japan. So they are a Japanese company, which is really interesting. However, it should be known that they also produce in the United States
Yes,
and
there's
Australia.
there's a Nissan USA.
Yeah.
So that's probably where all the defects
which is
coming
probably where your Murano is coming from.
from. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's still insane. I can't believe that in this day and age with social media the way it is, with the ability to engage with higher ups in a company and everything, that sort of thing is allowed to happen out in the public and not just have a company their ass reamed over.
Right. Well, see, but I guess here's the issue: is a whole bunch in all these reports, a bunch of people were like, "I'm never buying a Nissan again," and then a bunch of other people were like, "Yeah, this really sucks, guys. Go to a different company. You're gonna see the same thing. There's going to be a thing that's crazy like this that will fail. So we have to just lobby against every car manufacturer."
No, it's what's insane is that my Chevy is the first Chevy I had, and everybody's saying Chevy's the best. There's
Chevy
nothing
sucks
ever
dick
wrong with
post
Chevy.
2006.
And
post 96.
I've had issues with all my other cars. My first car was a Saturn. Loved that car. The only thing that was wrong with it was I was a fuck up and never got an oil change.
It's okay. Most people who have Saturns don't ever get oil changes too.
So-
it's why you can tell when you're driving behind a Saturn on the highway.
Right? Yeah.
But no, that car drove really well. It was like a 2.5 person car that we managed to fit, that we managed to fit like 7 to 8 people in. So it was interesting.
It was a 2.5 person car.
Yeah,
until
no.
we figured out how to make it not.
Yeah. Then I had a Intrepid. Was that my next
Dodge
car?
Intrepid?
I want to say
Was
that
that
was
the little blue one?
No, that was the red one.
The red Dodge Intrepid. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think my Intrepid was next, and I loved that car. That car was amazing until a week to the day before I went to basic, where it would have to sit in our yard forever. It decided for the radiator and the gasket to blow at the same time.
Well, that's an easy fix, but
Yeah,
I mean,
no, but at that point, it's like, I'm going to be gone for
I'm gone.
2
Yeah.
years. I'm just
I'll
going to
buy a
sell
new
it.
one.
Yeah. So then I got back and I got my Kia, which that car, nothing was wrong except for the heater stopped working.
What was that car?
The Kia Optima.
Kia Optima. What happened to that?
I hit 3 deer in a matter of a month.
That's right. I remember. Wasn't there one day you hit 2 deer in a row?
Yeah. No. It was at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It was
yeah. He got a
I went
kill
to work.
multiplier.
I went to work. It was this is I told my work already. I refused in November. I refused to come in early in November because it was Tuesdays. Both were on a Tuesday. I was in the same exact spot on fucking 95 right before St. Cloud. I slammed on my brakes. I'm like, okay, the deer left, and one bolted at the last second, hit my driver's side. So I'm like, well, I don't have a light on driver's side, whatever. My insurance will take care of it. I'll be fine. 2 weeks to the day from that, it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I was driving, went in early again because I was going to go down to the cities for Thanksgiving to see my brother and all that.
Right.
More deer went by. I'm like, okay, fine. I slammed on it, and I must have hit ice or something because I did not stop. I slowed down some, but it was just the deer must have ran at the last second.
Oh, sure.
I didn't see them in time. My car didn't slow down. Something, I don't know what it was, but I'm like, oh, I might make it, and then perfectly hit a deer right in the fucking face and right in the hind legs, and they went flying, and that totaled my car. Like I drove it still. Like it was fine. The bumper came off. I went out, put the bumper in my back seat. It was fine. Went to work, drove back home, brought it to the guy, brought it to the shop, and then the insurance company came and it's like, yeah, it will cost more to fix than your car's worth, so it's totaled.
That car was awesome though.
I loved that car. The only thing I had that I didn't like besides the heater, not like it like froze up or something, so it didn't work. It sucked during the winter because it was during the winter.
Yep.
But I just used my grandparents' car at that time, and that was fine. And they fixed it for me for a Christmas present.
It was probably
nice.
just the heater core.
Yeah, it was just a heater core. It was easy fix.
Yeah, it's like
But
a $50
nothing
fix.
else in that car was wrong. The only thing that I didn't like, it didn't have an auxiliary cable or anything like that.
For
So
the radio?
so I had to listen to radio or CDs, and it's one of those where it's
Just
like,
get an FM transmitter. That's what I've done. In
Well, I
most
mean,
of my
or just put a
cars.
third-party radio in it.
Yeah.
It's super.
But-
See, that's the one nice thing about modern cars is it's really easy to
But
do
yeah, no,
that. in
that was
them.
an 06. That was an 06, and that's by far the best car I ever had. Because nothing was wrong with it. Had great gas mileage. And now this one, so much shit is wrong with it. Like, when I fill up gas, it'll stop filling up gas. It's like, okay, it's done. No, I still have, like
That's
an eighth
probably,
of a tank that I could still... No, not eighth. I'd say like a 16th of a tank that says I can still fill up.
That's
I'm assuming
probably
that's a gauge.
an evap problem, or it might even be a fuel neck problem because you have a fuel neck vent, and if there's any like debris or anything plugging that, it causes that premature like click 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 click.
Yeah, so it's like one of those... Well, no.
Cool. Did we just become Car Talk?
Yeah.
But no, like when I fill up
Welcome
the...
to Car Talk, guys. Thanks for listening to NPR.
When I fill up my tank, so I'm like, oh, I'll put more in. But then if I... gas will come, like, there's been times where I was like, okay, I have plenty of room still because I looked at the gauge, and all of a sudden gas will be coming out of my tank. Like, oh,
Yep.
well, I
that sounds
overfilled
like
it.
that sounds like a plugged something somewhere.
So that most...
Yeah. We can probably take a look at that.
All right.
So, okay, so we are trying to get each other pissed off and angry podcast, but we also want to give people advice.
That and
And-
also we just like to talk about stuff, so sometimes we don't piss each other off. We just go into rants.
I might have found the best
Oh, all right.
advice question. So, Mabam, they like to do Yahoo Answers. I'm a bigger fan of using Reddit because I come across things on Reddit all the time. And I didn't even know that there was an advice subreddit. However,
Yeah, there.
the post that
I never
showed
went
up
into it.
when I first went there is, and this is by user I Can Explain Officer, which is very, very appropriate.
I already like the question. Don't even know, but just that name is like, okay, good question already.
Yeah. Here we go. How do I tell 11 female that I'm not her boyfriend? It's worth noting that I'm more than twice her age, and I'm as confused as you probably are, disgusted by this point. Due to family circumstances, I'm occasionally spending time with a seemingly normal 11-year-old girl who's a very distant relative of mine. Her and her mother are staying in our house temporarily. Girl has developed a crush on me, keeps staring at me, asked to hug me. No big deal. I thought it was cute at first. It got weird a few nights ago. We were sitting on the couch and she's watching cartoons. I'm messing with my phone. Out of nowhere, she sits on my lap, missionary style. Facing me, puts her arm around my neck, and kisses me on the cheek. Katie, what are you doing? Playing a game. She managed to plant 2 more quick kisses on my cheek, getting uncomfortably close to my mouth before I lifted her off of me. She wouldn't let go of my neck at first, but I eventually managed to sit her down next to me. I asked her if she played these games a lot. She vaguely described that she occasionally does with her best friend, who's a girl the same age. I honestly never played these games with a friend, but I heard girls can be much closer with their friends. Either way, I didn't prod too much.
There's more?
Oh, there's a lot more.
God.
I tell her that we should probably do something else, implying there's a more appropriate games we can play, such as Monopoly. It must have came out wrong, though, because without missing a beat, she says, "Would you like me to do more to you, or can I kiss you again?" Signed, I Can Explain Officer.
It doesn't matter what you explain. That's just... Ooh.
Goals! I mean...
I'm trying to make a joke out of this, but I can't.
See, here's the best part, is the anonymity of the internet. We can make all the jokes we want on his behalf, because holy fudge, this poor guy.
Oh my God.
So
I don't...
So I have, I'm not going to say I've been in the same situation because I haven't, but I've been in situations with girls who were that aggressive. They weren't young.
Okay, I was going to say, my niece wasn't aggressive. She just loved you since the time she's been 4.
Yeah, but I kept her at pretty much like a 16 arms length.
Yeah.
Because I was like, excuse you, you weird little thing. And I just used Go Extendo Saiyan pole that Goku has, and I just launched her through the house.
So what you're saying is he should use this pole to push her away?
Oh
He
my
should
God.
he should get her a pole. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I have, known girls in the past who have been aggressive like that, and there like legitimately is nothing you can do other than just stop being with them because it doesn't go through their head.
Well, yeah.
At her age,
if you
though,
want actual advice,
At her age, she should know what she's doing.
No.
Especially- no, nowadays?
she's only 11, man, and depending on her background and everything, maybe with like the people we grew up with, because a lot of our friends were like,
Then again, I also have the only reference I have is my 12-year-old niece, and
Ooh.
she knows, and her father's not the greatest role model. I'll
Yeah,
admit that,
exactly.
But she knows.
But like as an education director, or as somebody who was an education director, I dealt with, tons of kids this age a day. And I would say the majority of them, the vast majority of them, this is so beyond appropriate behavior. This is behavior that would make them extremely uncomfortable. Even just witnessing.
Just
here's the
listening to it
thing
made me uncomfortable.
do you think this
is learned behavior?
And of course, this is saying that this situation
mom's a
actually
prostitute.
happened and is true.
Right.
But do you think this young girl realizes what she's doing?
Yes, but I don't think she realizes it in the sense of like if your girlfriend came over and was doing that to you, how she would realize it. Does this girl realize she is kissing a boy? Absolutely. Does this girl realize that maybe she has like a crush or something on the boy? Sure. Does she really understand what is supposed to happen next? Probably not.
Does she
or what it's
I
implying?
wouldn't say probably not. I would say it's unknown.
I would
at
say
that point.
I would say probably not, on the sense that a girl that age should in
But
general shouldn't have that
jumping
kind.
back to what you said about learned behavior, that's what it is.
Exactly. It's learned behavior.
I
So
look at the parents.
So when I
Like
say
I said,
probably
her
not,
mom's a fucking
shouldn't
prostitute.
not. No.
Only way that could happen.
No.
It's actually
This-
probably the opposite.
This kind of behavior generally manifests from kids who are abused as children,
Yes.
or who witness abuse as children, because what ends up happening, and one thing you'll find out is
It's a similar kind of concept to Stockholm syndrome.
where it happens to them so much as children via the abuse that they start engaging in it on their own, because then they have control over it.
Yeah.
It's a big psychological thing. And this is actually, when I was an education director, we had to go to training classes and stuff on this. This is one of the things that you were kind of like, keep your eye out for this. If you see behavior like this, even between young kids doing this to each other, that is not an okay sign.
Yeah. You do not need to investigate the situation, but you need to report the situation to be investigated by someone.
Yeah. It's a really serious situation. It needs to be looked into. And
Definitely. No, but back on to what does she know what she's doing? I think she knows she's, like James says, she's kissing a boy. She understands that, but I don't think she understands that the age difference. What that implies.
No, she doesn't understand getting this guy in trouble.
yeah, she doesn't, and she doesn't understand the legality, and
No, that's what
I guarantee
she's like,
she doesn't understand the long-term effects of what could be going on either, like
Right.
outside of the legality.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But I think she does understand the sexuality part of it, and I think
I would say on a like how every kid is that she probably doesn't understand the sexuality part, but she understands that it makes her feel different.
She
only
just
going
doesn't
off of her
understand
hormones.
what that feeling is.
Yes, she doesn't understand.
Yes.
So she
I can
doesn't
agree with
understand
that,
that it's the sexuality, but she's like, it makes me feel different and happy, so I want to continue doing
Right.
it.
And I'm not going to go into that next part because that's getting a little too graphic. But I think the best thing he can do is tell his mom to start. Don't go after the girl's mom, because you don't know if that girl's mom is potentially the one causing the abuse.
Right.
Especially because he said that the girl was engaging in this behavior with her girlfriends.
Yeah. So
so this might actually even be like her friends have done this to her.
Yeah.
or it could have been like her friends' siblings or parents.
Or her mom doing this to her.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
Really, it could be anybody. You
But
can't.
the biggest thing is he needs to report this in official capacity as soon as possible, because it could so easily turn around where that girl like is joking about it with like her mom or something, or like another trusted adult or at school, and be like, yeah, my boyfriend's like 23. We were kissing the other night on the couch and he was holding me on his lap. And then immediately there's police there, and it's basically her word against his. And let's be honest, a 22, 23-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl, that 11-year-old girl is getting believed 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And he needs to immediately tell his mom and probably the kid's mom.
I would say the kid's mom should be approached with CPS.
Yes. And here's the thing is,
although I hate CPS, I'm just pointing that out there. They don't do shit in America. But anyway.
Assuming that this child's mom isn't isn't if he trusts, the child's mom and stuff like that, then I would say the kid needs to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist possibly, and
they need to have like a formal,
just to gently broach the subject in order to find the origin.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's multiple steps that need to happen here, but I think the first thing he needs to do is tell his parent.
So and
make sure that they're not in an alone situation any longer.
Yeah. Really, my advice for this guy would be, hey, you need to extract yourself from this situation and tell a bunch of people so you don't get blamed for this. But really, my advice to you is you need to help this person. It's not your problem as much.
Right.
Like, you can solve that pretty easily, but really, you have the opportunity to hopefully prevent this from getting any worse for her.
Right. All right.
I found a question that's a little more
giggly.
It's not giggly, but it's something that we could relate
to. Good, let's do it. Who am I?
No,
because that's the one I found.
That's mine's right above that. Would you want to know if your best friend was hitting on your ex-girlfriend only 2 weeks after breaking up?
Oh shit!
Like I said,
I wouldn't.
No, it's one of those. It's like
it depends on the ex-girlfriend.
Who broke up with who? Did I break up with her? Then LOL, go after it, son. There's a reason I dumped her.
Yeah, like my ex, I could not give a fuck.
Mutually.
Nobody breaks up mutually.
I know.
There is always one party or more that's hurt.
So they still care about each other. Either they're on a break and they're not really broken up, or doesn't say how old they are. So if they say that,
I'm going to go
teens.
with 11 and 23.
It hurts.
Oh God. Well, I don't want to talk about this question anymore now.
No, but yeah, because so example, without saying names, I was in a serious relationship with a girl about 8-10 years ago, somewhere in between there. And we broke up as in what you could say would be like a mutual breakup where it was like, hey,
the high school one?
No.
So then I probably don't
know
her. Okay. Must have been during the time when I was away.
But so we broke up, and it was basically, she was like, I really like you still. I want to have something in the future with you. I just can't do this at the point in my life I'm at right now, and I don't want to do this with anyone. And I was kind of like, hey, I can't offer you the things you need right now because I have serious anxiety. So like, I can't pick you up. I can't drive. I can't do any of these things. So we broke up. However, I didn't want to break up. I freaking loved this girl. But so
I think I actually might know who.
That's fine, you can, but no names.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to say that, but I'm trying to.
Nothing that's identifiable.
I'm not.
Cecilia, you're breaking my.
No, it was. Her name was Roxanne. You don't have to put on that red light.
Are you sure it wasn't Beth? I hear you calling.
No. Stacy's mom's got it going on.
Should we just start singing songs that have
here we go.
names?
Just completely off key and way too loud.
Yeah.
No, but so we broke up. I didn't want that breakup to happen, but I was like, if this is what we both need, this is what we both need. I didn't want it to happen. And I found out like 3 days later, she was at a party with a bunch of my friends, making out with a bunch of my friends. Not just a friend, not just two friends, but a bunch of my friends.
Okay.
Not only was she making out with a bunch of my friends, she was shit-faced drunk and making out with a bunch of my friends.
Okay, then I don't think it's who I'm thinking of, because I don't think she drank.
And the best part about it was then those friends were like, hey man, so I don't know how to tell you this, but I ended up making out with your girlfriend, because nobody had known we broke up.
Okay, well,
so it was like 6 people telling me they all made out with my girlfriend knowingly.
Well, first off, they're not your friends.
No, they're not. I literally haven't spoken to any of them since.
Yeah, any true friend would be like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. But this is one of those cases of, first off, this was not mutual, despite both people saying it's mutual. Second off, no, I didn't fucking want to know.
There is no such thing as a mutual breakup.
No, somebody's always broken up.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second.
Name one mutual breakup, and I'll tell you.
No, I'm not talking about that part. Yeah, okay. My emotional state. No, I don't want to know about it. But
that's only 2 weeks.
But objectively, it's so much better for you to know.
In that situation, it was so much better to know because I got to get rid of a bunch of trash in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, if this had been,
but not even those friends. But like
Sorry.
like just if you left on this term that potentially there could be something in the future.
Yep.
And she lied to you about the reasons why.
I don't think she lied about the reasons why. I think she got drunk and made a bunch of really shitty mistakes.
Okay.
Or maybe they weren't mistakes. Maybe she got drunk and did a bunch of exactly what she wanted to do. I don't think she lied about potentially wanting something in the future. I think she just lied about what she wanted at that exact moment.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Or at least not necessarily lying, was untruthful about what she wanted at that point.
Yeah, she didn't tell you the full thing. And the reason why she wanted to break up is she wanted to go be with other guys and stuff like that.
She wanted to go play the field.
Yeah.
She wanted to throw a couple baseballs around and see where they landed.
Yeah.
She wanted to slide into those DMs.
Field, it's time to play.
She wanted to slide in a home run.
But so I think
wanted to hit
it's
those
always
nuts.
good to know
She
that
wanted to catch all those
So
nuts.
I would want to know
Balls.
that shit. If
That's
if
real.
immediately after they are
Yeah.
going for someone else, because then okay,
All right.
1, they were untruthful, they didn't tell me the full situation, and 2, I'm gonna forget them then.
Yeah. It's not worth my time right
I mean,
now.
I'm not the type
Or
of
at
person
least-
to go
at
after
least-
people that do currently have boyfriends.
Right.
James. But
Wait. Oh, you're talking about tonight. That's fine. Her boyfriend doesn't count anyway. He's younger than me.
Yeah, no. Okay, no. So it's that question was 2 weeks. Now let's put that date outways. Let's say, would it be okay after a month?
I'm saying from day 1, yes, it's good.
Yeah, I think my big thing is if I still have some serious feelings for them and my friends know that, I would not want to know because it's going to be devastating.
No, that's
Later on down the road, sure. Or if they hear that maybe I'm trying to get re-involved with said person, sure, let me know. Tell me.
Yeah, but then if you don't know right away, you're sitting there holding those feelings.
I hold on to feelings regardless.
Yeah, everybody does.
I to this day still love that girl.
So we're completely opposite because I have the
Oh.
ability to just throw emotions out the window.
I can't throw emotions out the window. I can detach from people really easy, but that if I got a call today and heard something happen to her, I would still be like brought to the point of tears.
See, I'm
But that doesn't mean right now.
Something happened to her. She got a new job.
Yeah.
You're gonna.
I'm
He's
crying.
crying right now. Oh, my
fuck,
god.
Why would you tell me? I didn't want her to work at McDonald's.
But see,
I didn't want her
would
to get
say
that
I'm
job.
I would say I'm kind of in the middle ground of that because there's plenty of exes that I had that I don't care about. I don't want to think about.
I have exes I don't care about at
But
all too. But
there
I'm
is
talking
one
about like
that-
something significantly to the point where my friends are like, "Hey, this is something that you were serious about, so I'm going to tell you now." Sure, I'm going to want to know that information.
No, see, I know there's a. I know my girlfriend right now will not listen to this because she does not support me in any way. No,
Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-dingle, touch my bingle jingle.
My previous ex, I always say like I don't want to talk about her because she's like my girlfriend right now is obsessed with always stalking my ex on
That's a good sign.
on
It's a very good sign.
yeah, I know, right? On social media and stuff, just to see what she's doing. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to know anything about her and all that, which is true because I'm trying to get myself away from that. Oh, I still care about her because I don't want to because of what she put me through.
Right.
And it's sad because I probably will always have a little bit of part of me that will love her and all that because
Anybody that you truly loved, you'll always care about him. It just gets easier to handle in time.
I'm not sure if they heard anything like anything until you got closer. But
really hope though. Oh no, looking at that waveform, it's just.
yeah, so it's gonna be.
Yeah. See,
But it's one of those where it's like the reason I don't want to see anything on Facebook about her, know anything that's going on in her life, because I know I'll get invested again if
Or
I
jealous.
see it. Or jealous. I'm like, I don't want that. I'm done with that part of my life. I don't want her because I made the conscious decision. I don't want her a part of my life anymore. Any part.
Good. She doesn't need to be a part of your life because she's a big bitch.
See, but here's the thing:
she's
is a bunch
yes.
of my exes and stuff like that. I am on terms with them where like I talk to them at parties and stuff like that. I hang out with them every once in a while. We're friends,
There's
and
not
I don't care about them at all. But like I am friendly towards them, so I know that they can't hold anything against me.
There's only
true.
There's
That's a
only,
good way to go
Yeah,
about
no.
things.
There's only one girlfriend that I can say of one of my ex-girlfriends that I'd say that if I met her now I'd be civil with, and that's probably my first one I ever had.
Yeah.
Even though she was crazy as hell in
Yep.
the high school, but she seems to have turned her life around. So
Yeah,
it's like,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it's like
She
sweet.
seems like she's doing really well.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah. If
And
I
it's
ran
James.
It's James.
And if I ran,
Hey everybody, I'm Vito's first girlfriend. I just want you to know, on our first date, he took me to Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
He shoved a chicken burrito in my butthole. It was the most romantic thing anyone has ever done, even to this day. And it was even better that he did it while we were in line, and all the cashiers and all the food preparers clapped and hollered until the police showed up. And then we had the most romantic honeymoon
With the police.
with the police in the back of a squad car until, surprise, surprise, I had my lockpick on me because I'm used to this sort of thing. We got out of the cop car. We ran down I-35. The police chased us. 14 people died in car crashes as we ran into oncoming traffic. And suffice to say, it didn't work out because he couldn't keep up with me. And I broke up with him after he was arrested and I got away free. But you know what? At least we had a romantic evening.
Are you done?
5 more minutes.
And then he did not handle it well. He shit himself.
What can I say? After I run
While
about
the
5
police
steps,
tased him.
once I take more than 5 steps in a run, I can't control my balls anymore. It just becomes a river. All right, I can't.
Your love is like a river.
Your love is like a river of diarrhea, murky and thick.
And we're back to scatological.
Woo! Hey, everybody.
Okay, now I actually have a question that we actually probably could make quite a bit of jokes on, because I already thought of a few after reading it.
Was
All
it
right.
ass or tits?
No, it's by That One Crossover, and the title is "My Mom Does Not Trust Me When I Have My Friend That Is a Girl Over."
Oh, well, that's probably because she's found the 17 condoms you tried flushing down the toilet, and they clogged the septic system.
Now let me
Don't
let me
flush
read the-
condoms in the toilet, kids.
Let me
Wrap
read
them
the
up in a paper
paragraph.
towel, shove them in a toilet paper tube,
And then up your
light
butt.
them on fire and throw them at cops while they drive by your house. Works every time. Nobody
all
cares
right.
about the condoms anymore.
All right, now let's read the paragraph.
I don't want to.
That's exactly what it starts off with. Kind of. It's I don't know what to do.
All right.
I don't know what to do. And sitting here on the it says and it's supposed to be I'm sitting here on the brink of tears because I just don't get it. I'm male and 16 and I have this friend who's female and also 16. We are friends and nothing more.
Yeah,
I've
you
had
can
her
be friends and have sex.
I've had her over once, and my mom, who doesn't own the house, my sister does, said, first off, let's just digest that. In what universe does a child own a house and their parent doesn't want the shitty parents?
Wait. Okay, so the mom doesn't want the girl to come over, but the mom doesn't even own the house?
Yes, his sister does.
Well, then I guess it's up to the sister.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's
And
But
how
the mom
old-
is
how-
still legally responsible for him.
How old was he?
16.
he's 16.
Oh, 16. Okay. I thought you said 26, and
No.
I'm like, this is a weird dynamic I'm not okay with on any
Okay.
way.
It's because the mom really wants to keep the son for herself.
Because
He broke
he's
both of his arms.
14.
You know what?
Or he
yeah.
broke-
I was gonna say that. Okay. Let me. My mom said to me that she does not want that girl over anymore. I asked her why, but she gave me no straight answer. I then later found out that even though she didn't exactly say it that way, she thinks I'll lose control of myself. That I'll have sex with her and have kids. That I'll drop out of school or my grades will get worse. I just don't get it. I'm struggling to understand why she thinks I'm her goddamn son. Sorry, it said that, so I had to emphasize that part. She
It was
knows
in caps lock. I get it.
It wasn't caps lock, but it should have been. She knows me better than anyone else. I am not an ape. That should also be in caps lock.
You are an ape, though.
Technically.
True.
I can control myself. I don't know what to do. I told her I was not going to listen to her because it's not her house. But she got even more mad. How do I explain to her I'm not a sex-craved idiot? And what in God's name do I do?
All right.
I got this.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because this is the approach I had to take when my mom thought I was boning every girl I brought over.
All right.
I just had sex with them because I was getting accused of it anyway.
See, what I was going to say is...
But
What I was going to say is...
he's not allowed to have that girl over.
have sex with her on the front lawn then. Be like, Mom, if you don't want the neighbors seeing, you better let us come into the house.
See, what I was going to say is something...
There you go.
I was going to say something similar. Is you tie your mom down, and then you bone
Fuck
the girl right in front of your mom and be like,
I don't
"Look,
want to
I'm
know
not
what
a
kind of
sex
porn you're
craving."
into. Get out with your weird
like crazy
incest
no,
cuck porn.
super
I-
hardcore cucking.
Yeah, okay.
But like not really. But
It's like incest cucking.
no,
but
it's-
like
I don't even... No, it's... How would
welcome
you describe
to
it?
being demonetized.
It's I don't know how to describe it because it would be showing the person who's disappointed in you. No, getting off on somebody who's disappointed in you having sex, watching you have sex.
So it's like cuck humiliation incest porn.
but you're not the one being humiliated. You're
I mean-
humiliating
also
the
they're
other
shitting
person.
on each other, so just
Yeah.
throw that in
So
there.
it's German.
And
Yeah.
honestly, the girl probably won't want to do that, so you would have to drug her.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
kind of rapey on it too.
Oh, why did you have to go there though? I mean, like,
Wow, that's
this
we're
was-
just across
this
the
was-
line.
We're
this
just
was-
adding modifiers.
This was like a funny conversation until in rape. Okay, well, in the
so pedophilia is totally fine.
yeah. Wait, no. What? Where was pedophilia at?
the first question.
First question.
No.
11 and 12, and then the next question
Yeah.
you're saying, let me guess, 11 and 23. You made a joke about...
Yeah, but that was like reverse. No, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Reverse rape.
Yeah.
No,
Guess
but
what?
for real.
Reverse rape is still rape.
No, like in that situation, it was a young kid doing something they didn't know to an older male who was seeking advice.
Yeah, but
in this
it's-
situation,
But then the next
in
question,
this
you made a
situation-
joke about...
Yeah, which whatever. But in this situation, you just straight up and go, "Well, the girl's not gonna like it, so you better rape her."
It was
There's a
rape
pretty
joke.
big difference there.
It's a rape joke.
Oh man,
I
trigger
came
warnings.
after it after this. Both of them are the concept of these two things, not the context of them.
Oh.
Maybe it's a consent play. Consent play. I mean,
Is
maybe
there consensual drugging?
There is.
There is.
There is
There's
consensual
actually-
rape too.
Yeah, there's consensual
And
rape. That's- it's
before
consent
everybody
play.
listening to this gets super pissy about there can't be consensual rape, if you are with somebody who has a rape fetish and they give you consent to follow through with a fantasy play where rape is involved, that is consent rape.
What's the definition of rape then?
So here's the thing: is technically no, that person did not get raped in that scenario.
Okay, it's just
but
a
the
specific
fantasy.
It's the
Okay, yeah,
fantasy.
yeah,
They're-
it's the fantasy in the
they're
situation.
acting like they're saying no, but they already gave. They already
Right,
say
Right.
yes, no
It's
matter
a
what I
situation where
say.
you would maybe like set up a safe word so they
Yeah.
can they
Right.
can scream no and whatever they want, but once that safe word comes out, that's the actual
Right.
hard no.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people listening to this might be fucking surprised, especially if any SJWs are, and if you are, this is not the podcast for you. But there-
Thanks for subscribing.
yeah, thanks though for your contributions monthly to NPR.
Yeah.
There are first off, there is just straight up rape fetish, which
Right, but then rape fetish.
so here's where it gets really freaky though. There are people, men and women, who will purposefully put themselves into situations where it is not a fantasy, but where there is a high chance
Right,
of them
of getting
being
raped.
raped.
Yes.
And they get off on that. So yes, they want this to happen,
then
but they
consent-
have literally no control over it.
Right.
And so it's not one of those like, here's a safe word about this.
Right, exactly.
Here's this or here's this. It is literally they are getting raped. They just enjoy the concept and the fantasy of it happening, and they want to feel the physical manifestation of it.
Right.
They want that I'm unsafe now. I feel in danger. I feel
Right.
threatened.
It would be mixing, sex addict type stuff with like adrenaline junkie,
Right.
Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I think that's a really good comparison.
That is.
It's like
That's
sex
really good.
addiction plus an adrenaline junkie plus maybe taboo. And
Right,
they're
yeah.
like, all right.
And there's some people that like not being in control.
Well, yeah, but that can go so many, like that could just be dom sub play. That
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to be rape play. There's a very
They like. Okay, I'm not going there.
there is a very specific thing when it comes into rape play where it is rape play. It's like blood play. Nobody wants their veins cut open and bled out alive,
I
but
can't
there
do
are
blood
still the
play.
people who enjoy the fantasy and the physical act of wall and sex, having somebody hold a knife up to their throat and cutting them.
Oh no, can't. Mm-mm.
Nope, I am not into blood play.
And
for-
by
for me,
everyone, if first of all, if young people are listening to this, stop.
Yeah, this is an 18
Well,
plus podcast,
yeah.
just so everybody knows.
But just don't browse the internet
Yeah, stay off of it.
It's just play Fortnite. It's fine.
And
Just
do
lock
Fortnite
yourself in
dances
your
on
house.
cameras at baseball games.
Yeah.
No, God, what was I
Don't
saying?
ever go outside.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't do
The internet
do
exists.
go outside. It's much less crazy out there.
No, because this is where the rest of these people exist.
Yeah, but most of them are online though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, I can't do anything with blood. Like, I know there's some people that if they like the scratching and stuff like that, and
I was-
a little bit of biting, and they're like, oh, if blood gets drawn, that's just a little extra, whatever. Me, I don't care if somebody scratches me because that's kind of what, they like doing. It's like, okay, because it can feel good now and then, but as soon as there's even a drop of blood, it has the same effect to me as being called daddy. It's instant. I'm done. I can't.
Dios míos, papi.
See?
One
exception.
I was
One
actually good.
exception is Poppy. Don't know why Poppy's like, okay,
Because
yeah.
she's blonde, lithe, and cute.
Leith?
Leaf. Yeah, no.
You really don't know how to say lithe.
Every time I say it, you guys are like, nope, that's not the right way. So then I change it. Nope,
No,
that's not the right way.
because
Then
you
I
don't-
change. Then I
Because
Leith, life.
If he actually
lift.
does say let's agree right now. If he does actually say lithe, let's fuck with him and say it's lithe.
No, but see,
It's
here's the
Arabian,
thing.
it's-
Here's the thing, James. You say you change it, but you don't. You say it the same way
I
every
have,
single
I
time.
have on my phone ways to pronounce this word with check marks next to ways I've pronounced this word.
You-
And none of them have been correct.
You always say Leaf.
No, I always say life.
Yeah, he said lithe.
I say
life?
life.
Yep.
Because there's an E at the fucking end of it in a vowel. It should be I.
Okay.
It's
What was
I.
the question?
Oh, what should he do? Because his mom won't let him.
I already told him what he should do. Have sex with her on the freaking front lawn.
All right, here's
You just have to
there's
assert
two
your
ways
dominance.
you can combat this.
Yeah, pee on your mom.
Yeah.
Assert your dominance.
Assert your dominance.
now you own
Pee,
her.
Rub
the
her
piano
nose in
two
it.
different ways.
You can do it my way, which is the right
Or the
way,
highway.
or the wrong way, which is whatever Tyler's about to say.
So, okay, depending on the type of person you are, you can try and solve your problems very aggressively and very head on.
Yeah, having sex in the front yard.
Yes, and
Look,
then
Mom.
it logically makes sense if you say, "Hey, if you want us to not do this, let us do it inside," and then you can just continue the problem and the bad feelings with your parents and blah 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 blah.
Right, because parents are useless and baby boomers suck.
Yes.
Sorry, Brett.
Or you can manipulate your parents and get them to trust you enough where you can sneak her into your bedroom
And then have sex with her.
and then have sex with her, or just be friends. I guess if you guys are just friends, but hey, you're 16. I know how your brain works.
You've never had sex with your friend before?
I mean, me and Bronson all the time.
I mean, I was gonna say what? I was gonna say what was last night to you then, huh? God. Yeah.
So, like, your mother has the correct, perspective. Like, she, you may think, oh, yeah, I have this, blah, 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 and I have control myself, and she knows me, best of all, but, she is right, and you are wrong about not being a monkey. You have these overwhelming urges and
Well,
blah, blah,
hold
blah,
on
blah,
now,
blah.
hold on now, because I know I joked earlier about every girl I brought home I had sex with, but I didn't lose my virginity until I was almost 20. And I had girls constantly spending the night, staying in my bed.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is, my mom thought I was having sex, but she didn't mind as long as I was using protection, which I didn't even need because I wasn't having sex. But there were nights where she came, or mornings where she would come in and on a weekend, come in to wake me up and be like, hey, what do you want for breakfast? I'm making pancake, and be stopped in my doorway as 2 or 3 other girls not wearing clothes popped
Other
up out
girls?
of my bed.
James?
Yeah, I'm a girl too.
Okay.
But I was not having sex during any of this. I was
Just
no,
fingering him. It's
no,
fine.
no,
It's fine.
nothing.
I
There
know,
was nothing
yeah,
occurring.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to go
I
into
think
this
that's why
thinking
they-
that oh, they're 16, they can't control themselves. I controlled myself just fine.
No, what I'm saying is from the mother's perspective.
Yeah, well, from anyone's perspective who's trying to portray something, they think they're right. Except for Trump,
But-
which I think he knows he's wrong, but he's just too deep into this now. He can't say he's wrong because my guns.
But it makes logical sense that this,
Logically, yes, it
Yeah.
makes sense. And maybe it's because his mom is reviewing what she did at his age.
Exactly. And based off the circumstance, this mom has to live with her daughter with her son.
Yep.
And the daughter owns the house. I assume that the mother is not making great decisions,
choices.
Yeah.
or she made bad choices
Right.
that set her up poorly.
But I don't think it's fair for the mom to project her own shortcomings on her child.
No, it's not. But we're not talking to the mom right now.
Well, we're talking about what he can do to get his mom to be okay with this.
Exactly. But
But
what
we
I'm
have to
saying
come
is,
to the reasoning why his mom's not okay with this. So his mom is just as much on trial as he is.
okay, sure.
And so I think it really does come down to, like, legitimately having to talk to his mom and be like, Mom, I'm not. But if you don't think I'm not, fine. You don't have to believe me. This isn't your house. You're responsible for me. But I'm not. And, like, either his mom's going to believe him or his mom's not. And if his mom's not believing him, well, okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Then there's
I've dealt
nothing
with a
he's
lot
going to be
of-
able to do.
I've dealt with a lot of crazy people.
I've dealt with a lot of crazy parents.
Yes. And if they are unreasonable like that, if they're not just going to work with you, you just have to manipulate them. If you have to deal with
because
them,
there's
you have to manipulate
there's
with
literally
them.
no reasoning with them.
Exactly. So
It's like
what
a
you do is
narcissistic
say,
thing.
Mom, you fake it, you break down tears, say, Mom, the reason I said nothing's happening is because I'm gay and I didn't know how to tell you. And then just manipulate her, say you're gay,
Yeah.
and then just have your girlfriends over. And if you just want to be friends with them, then perfect. And if you want to have sex with them, go ahead.
Yeah. And
just
maybe,
don't let her know.
Maybe you're bi, so you're only kind of telling a half-truth lie.
Yeah.
And so, and then it really doesn't matter. See, that's what I don't get is, like, I had gay friends growing up, and they were allowed to have dudes over, but their parents would not let them have girls over. And I was like, so they're totally okay with you putting it in the pooper of another boy as long as it's a boy and not a girl in your bedroom, but
Right.
you can't have those girls over there because we don't need no pregnancies. It's just another concept of, like, parents don't understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Parents be dumb. All right.
Just remember, parents are just bigger
Babies.
yous. Yep.
Yeah, they're idiots because they have no idea what they're doing. Ask any
Nobody
parent-
has any idea what
No,
they're
no,
doing.
no.
though.
I said once
Oh,
you get older,
hey, by
ask
the
your
way-
kid, ask your parents. Did you have any idea what you were doing? They're like, no, completely winged it.
So do you want to close this down? Because I do have one more point.
Make another point.
Okay. I know a lot of people who I know very few of my friends do not think that their parents are pretty crazy.
Right. But their parents are.
Their parents are crazy, yes.
Yeah, but they
Yes.
don't think their parents are crazy.
No, they do think their
okay,
parents are crazy.
okay.
A lot of my friends think, yeah, my parents are fucking crazy. I don't know why. I am in the same boat. A lot of my friends are like that. And I was like, why? What is it that parents are actually crazy? Is it because they're out of touch or something? But how did that happen? And I was wondering, well, maybe it's because when your child was younger, when you were younger, you were looking towards your parents for all the advice and blah, 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 and they were correct. They had all the information. But
Most
as
of
you
the
got older, right, well, even if their information was crazy, you still believed it because you were just a kid.
It's the only interaction with that information you had.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you were praised as, and maybe the parents weren't that crazy from the get-go. Maybe they had pretty normal stuff, and you just believed all of it. But as you got older, you're finding your own information. You are no longer going to them for what is correct and stuff like that. You're finding other people. They are no longer being these fonts of knowledge that are sought out. And they're like, oh, well, I guess I need to find new knowledge that I can be the officiant of or stuff like that. And so that's why they get into conspiracy theories, and that's why they get into this, that, and the other thing, is because that stuff is so insane, it's hard to disprove.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways you can keep backing up it even after it's disproven 1,000
Yeah.
times.
I mean, anybody's going to make reasoning for whatever they
Yeah.
actually believe in or want to believe in.
Yeah,
That's the big
yeah.
thing, is you can't prove something otherwise to a person who already believes in something else.
Right.
Unless they are willing to not believe in what they already believe. And that is near impossible to do to people.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, well, maybe what's causing your parents, it seems like everyone's parents go off the deep end, so to speak, in varying amounts. And maybe it's because they're no longer being sought as the people who know what's up. And so they need to come up with this crazy stuff.
You know, I think you're onto something. And when you were pointing, like, maybe it's because the parents are just out of touch, I think you missed a really good point you could have made, which is, and I'm not saying you're wrong, because I agree with you 100%, but I think there's more to it. When you have a child, you stop being able to go out. You stop being able to socialize. You
Right.
stop being able to interact
point.
with other people, with other peers. And so when you're younger and as a child and as you grow, you're constantly getting new knowledge, new experiences, new sensations and things. But then you have a kid of your own and you have to stay with that kid, and you can't go out to the bar. You can't go out to the track. You can't go out and play your intramural sports. You can't go and do this. You can't do all these other things because you have to stay at home taking care of this child of yours.
And so your information
you
is not getting
stagnate.
updated.
Yeah, you stagnate. And the only information you have is what little bit you get through social media, through Fox News, through this or that, or the newspaper or whatever. And so it starts getting to the point where, they are entirely out of touch.
Yep.
And they don't know they're out of touch. They think there's still this hip, I'm in touch because I've always been in touch.
Right,
And they
exactly.
can't figure out, why is my kid just doing this? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? What the frick is Facebook? What is Google? You know, like, because they stagnate after you have a child.
Right.
And the thing is, once you have one child, you generally have another child. So the cycle just repeats over once
Yep.
the first child's old enough to start being home alone. And so you hit that like late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s when you're having kids, and boom, that's where like that font of knowledge ends.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense
Yeah.
too.
And then what little social interaction you get becomes all of your social interaction. And so those things, everything's embedded.
Yep.
Like even more, because like before where you were learning new things every day, new facts, new situations, now you're learning new things every couple weeks or months when you have maybe a dinner party or when you get a night away from the kids. And I think it's a mix between that and then the final point that you were making, which is like, you don't know anymore. You're out of touch.
Right. Yep.
But that, and also each generation talks to each other differently.
Yeah.
Like we talk to each other completely differently because right
We
now
have to have
well-
microphones in front of us, putting it online.
Yeah,
in order
putting
to
it online.
discuss,
We have to.
If the rest of the world doesn't see every single part of our life, we will die.
It's
We will wither up
really,
and we will
once
die.
we stop recording, we won't talk to each other
Yeah.
anymore.
I have a gun. I'm gonna shoot both of them with.
Yeah.
So
and
please-
we don't even
so-
know.
we can't stop talking. Once we stop talking, it's over.
So-
please listen. No, but I'm saying
Actually,
because,
but no, you guys probably you probably have noticed that I am on when we're hanging out and we're recording. But if you're trying to contact me on Facebook or stuff like that, I'm not as on.
When I'm here, when I'm
that's-
doing things like this, or when I'm at like work, when I'm in a forced social situation, I'm like boom, boom, boom. But like when I get home, I lounge back into a chair. And I might have Facebook open and maybe talk to the girl, you know, maybe talk to whatever girl I'm talking to at the time, or maybe, you know, catch up with a couple people just to make sure we're on for whatever plans we have down the road. But I'm done.
yeah, that's
I'll
well,
sit onto a game.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
what I do. It's like
I
when
play-
I get home from work,
I'll
takes
pop on
yeah.
Battlefield 1. There's
Yeah.
64 other people on there. I don't talk to a single one of them. I just kill them all.
Yeah, no. When I get home from
Because
work,
it's every single customer on their face that I see. Just-
when I get home from work, it's literally takes so much effort for me to do anything once I get home.
Yeah,
Because it's like I just want to relax because I've been working for 12, 13 hours.
Right.
I want to be able just to
I need to
relax a little bit. Yeah, I need to
decompress.
compress. And it's always, every time James texts me or calls me like, hey, you want to go get Chipotle? It's always during the time where I'm decompressing. I'm just like, do I?
Yeah. And
Do
it's
I,
like,
like, I'm
there's
like,
part
I
of
know
you,
I'll
part
enjoy-
of you
I know
knows
I-
you want to and you'll
Yeah.
enjoy it, but the other part is, but I really need this moment right now.
Yeah, it's like,
but
I-
is it that we actually need that moment, or is it we just are preferring that moment because of
Right.
all of the experience we had in that day has just wound us up so much?
Right.
It's pretty much just like,
I
I'm
do
finally
not know
starting to
that, to
relax
answer
and-
that question.
Same.
Yeah. It's,
Because I'm super
Oh.
sociable and I
Yeah.
need social interaction or I will die. But at the same time, don't fucking talk to me when I get
Yeah.
done with work for like 2 hours
Yeah,
unless
no.
I made plans with you during the day and I've spent the last like 3 hours getting ready to go into the next part of my day
Exactly.
that involves
No,
humans.
literally, every time you text or call me, and it's like, I'll be honest right now. Few of those times I said, no, I'm busy, I have plans. I didn't. I just
No,
didn't
you
want to
just
leave.
don't wanna do anything.
Yeah, no, it's.
I get that.
It's
I
one
don't
of
wanna
those
do
where it's
things
like
most of the time I'm alive.
Yeah, no, every
I just
time
wanna
I'm just
sleep.
like,
And choke
it-
myself to death.
it takes me 15.
You just wanna.
It takes me about 15 minutes.
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
But it takes me about 15 minutes to about a half hour to try and even get a glimmer of a decision of, do I want to go get burritos with my best
Do I
friend?
want to answer this text message
or not?
or
Because it's-
pretend I never got it?
That's pretty much just like, God, it's like,
Although today, I really wasn't getting any of your messages.
Yeah, no, we found that out because you got my message like
while we were at the VFW.
Yeah.
So, all right. So for our final question for the night, and this is just the question we're leaving it with.
Oh, so we're gonna think about it and come back to it.
No, we're just gonna one off.
How about we do that and then just get a one sentence take?
Yeah, exactly. My future husband doesn't like me. Please tell me how I can make him a little fond of me and think of me in his future.
So, obviously, I saw there, James, you replaced husband with wife, but why did you feel like writing that and not just asking us?
Vito?
I mean, they're getting married. You don't marry somebody you love.
Well, I mean, if you liked him, you can't join up into that 50% divorce rate we got. So, boom!
Whoa!
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Get Heated.
Not much of a getting heated part. We're just kind of.
We got heated. We just were generally heated towards each other.
We didn't get.
Or with each other.
I was gonna say we just acted normal around each other. I don't feel like we
got.
got.
But versus what other people act like when they're with each other, I think we're a very heated, animated bunch. Other people are normally like, "Yep, crop is coming in."
I suppose I will say we are very animated.
Had the pigs out this morning. Awfully cold.
Did you
had
make
to
them
bring
squeal?
them in.
Did you make them squeal like a pig?
Cows didn't give as much milk today as they did last week. You can tell fall's here.
All right, now stay on with this accent and talk about absurd things. Yeah, just
I can't.
I saw a UFO last night again.
Fourth house, just burned the house down. Had to bury it.
Well,
which is a shame because I was married to that one. We
Yeah,
got
I
it
mean,
figured out in the courthrhouse and everything.
I fucked every doorknob in that.
She didn't even know that I freaking cheated on her with the courthouse while we were getting married. That's 3 stories I'll never get back, but they make for one great story.
Well,
listen, the more sub basements you got in the place, the deeper you can get in there.
I can't even.
They don't. They always say they don't like us going in the back door, but they wouldn't have built it if they didn't. All right, everybody. So thanks for tuning in to Get Heated. We'll see you next time.
Right,
if
bye.
you liked it, don't forget to head on over to patreon.com/gentlemangames.
Jokes, so that's fine.
You can find me.
I'm done.
I have actually been posting on Twitter. Interact with me, and I'll do it more. The Telling Son. So TheTellingson.
You can find me on Twitter. I mean, I search Twitter, but I don't really post anything, so I'll have to start doing that.
I mean, when people
just
message
come up
you,
with
sure.
super stupid jokes.
Yeah.
See, I don't do stupid
joke you were
jokes.
about to make just now.
I do.
Put it on Twitter.
No, because I'll get banned from Twitter.
No, you won't. Put it on Twitter. Donald Trump hasn't been banned from Twitter. Nobody can get banned from Twitter. Put it on Twitter.
That's it. But
tweet it at James or me.
Yeah. Tweet it at Donald Trump.
Oh my God, that'd be so bad.
You can say this during your next UN meeting.
Oh, that'd be so
right
bad.
after you contradicted the sentence before.
All right. But you can find me at Bronvito, just BRONVITO.
And you can find me at James_Payne, JAMES_PAINE. As always, guys, this has been a Gentleman Games podcast. Get heated.
Woo!
And
stay angry.
Stay.
That should be our catchphrase. Stay angry.
Get heated.
Don't. I don't want to run into you.
Yeah. It's fucking Minnesota. It's 30 degrees outside. There's snow everywhere. And in about a month, we're going to have negative 40 degree weather. Stay heated, everybody.
That is pissing me off.
Press 1 now, or press 9 to be placed on the do not call list.
Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line and you'll be transferred to the next available agent.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, hi. This is Lucy with the National Chronic Pain Association. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Theodore Williamson.
How are you, Theodore? Really quick, this is not a sales call, but a call to identify people with chronic pain and how they're dealing with it. They're also making people aware that through new government standards, most insurance companies will now cover the relief of chronic pain at no cost to you. Theodore, do you or anyone in your household suffer from chronic pain?
Oh, I do. I greatly suffer.
Okay, and would you like to hear more information about how medical grade brace can help?
Medical grade what now?
Medical grade brace and how it can help you?
What is it?
It's a medical grade brace.
How does it work?
Well, wherever you're having pain at, you put it over it, and it wraps. I can get you on the phone with a specialist that can give you more information about it.
Oh gosh, that sounds absolutely wonderful because like every time I don't even know, it's kind of embarrassing, but like every time I sit down to, have a little bit of a bowel movement, I have some pretty serious pain in the lower back, and if this brace could help with that, that would be wonderful. Oh, they hung up. I have some serious pain.
A Gentleman Games podcast.